Hello, I'm Mr. Santarpia, middle school art teacher, and I've made a video on blind continuous contour portraits, and I want to talk about how do you build the skill of drawing. Starting on the first day with these silly portraits, we actually build the skill of blind and continuous line drawing before starting to actually sketch. So I have a bin of random objects, as you can see, and I have the students pick an object for themselves. They do some drawing rotations at their table. They split their page in half and they do one blind drawing. They do a not blind or just a continuous line drawing. The focus of the lesson is drawing from observation, that you actually have to look at what you're drawing. Okay, drawing is seeing, you learn by doing, you have to see to draw. So without looking at the page, only looking at the details of the object or your subject, and then you are allowed to look at the object and then at your paper, at the object and at your paper while you're drawing, except you cannot pick up the marker still. This is all before we start actually sketching. They're like, are we still doing the weird line drawing? Yes, yes you are. And then we build on it. We talk about drawing studies, and I kind of dangle the bacon in front of them that you are going to be able to draw like this. But first, we're going to do a drawing study, right? Preparation, practice, repetitions. They have to pick a shoe, and they have to pick an object. And they have to do a study or a series of small drawings. So here's how some of theirs came out. A great example of a shoe study here. And you can see blind, where there's a little more like discombobulation because they can't see the paper. Then it's a little more congruent and put together because they are allowed to look at their page as they're drawing, but they're both continuous lines, and then the sketch, and you can see the development of the drawing. So it's a great exercise for them. This was cool. It was like a, what do you call these? Sand timer dial, whatever. Really awesome. Didn't even talk about shading, but he was doing shading. Great shoe, good scale. You can see really kind of falling apart at the beginning, very discombobulated, but they're comfortable making mistakes, or they're forced to, without being able to correct it. A little more put together, much more put together. The jar, shoe study. I'll show you two more. Great flower study, and one of the top shoe studies right here. Not too shabby. So observational drawing, that's how you build up the kids' ability from the first day into like month 2. Thank you.